Gonna do a little garden tour this morning here at Thrive Homestead. Thanks to anyone that's joining. Gonna tune in. This is a garden we call the Fay Garden. Last year, this was a quarter acre of hemp. There's 6 hugel culture beds here. These are about 6 feet wide and 6 feet deep in the ground. We're here in Lake County in Northern California, where it's very hot and dry and sunny summers, hotter than Humboldt and Mendocino, just which are a little north and to the east of us. We're getting our first couple cool, drizzly days that we've had all summer. It's been real hot and sunny up until these last couple days. Parts of Humboldt and Mendo got a little bit of rain. We're scheduled for possible thunderstorms this afternoon. So it's been a nice little break from the heat, and the gardens and the plants are really enjoying it. We're able to give them a lot of water right now. They're kind of catching up. We had some water issues earlier on, most of this last month, and things were really dry during some hot times. And these hugel beds really saved the day. You can see we left these 3 beds up here. Didn't grow in them this year, but we let all the weeds go wild, the mullein and this other wild lettuce that grows here, because a lot of birds come in here and eat this. I see birds every day landing on the mullein and eating that. And this is what we call a beetle bank. So there's lots of bugs and beetles and snakes that hide in here during the daytime in these overgrown rows, and they come out at night and perform their functions when it's a little cooler and safer. And so we've only grown in these lower 3 hugels this year, these 3 bottom hugels. We've got some personal use plants for ourselves and our landmates here, and a lot of food. And you can see the mullein here grows. It's established itself. Tamara has been on this land for 11 years, and she originally planted this mullein, and now it just grows everywhere on its own. Good pioneer species, establishes itself, flowers in its second year, and we have this really cool fasciated variety here that makes these turkey tails, and these other cool designs. Here's where we did some experiments in the Three Sisters. That's the uh, squash, corn, and beans, using the corn as a trellis for the beans to grow up. You can see that worked out pretty well there. The squash at the bottom didn't really grow very well at this site, but it did better in some other spots. Sunflowers, amaranth. That's the elephant head amaranth. This is a super sour space candy by Laughing Dog. That super sour is a legal hemp strain that we grew last year from Oregon CBD. And this Laughing Dog comes from Heart Rock Mountain Farm. And we really like this Laughing Dog. So this is a high CBD strain right there. Big sunflowers here. Here's where the beans really took over. They climbed the corn so much that they knocked it over. So we've been picking these black beans. More corn over here. Here's the pumpkins, filled it in really nicely there. This is a little Ringo's Gift plant. Selection of Tamaras. Letting these sunflowers go to seed so the birds can eat some and we can gather some of the seed. And those black beans we're talking about. More corn, just about ready for harvest. Got some big pumpkins over here. This is a Oz Kush back cross. This is from Hoku Seed Company up in Oregon. This is a legal hemp strain that we grew last year. And we grew 2 of these this year. These 2 phenos right here. This is a feminized seed. Makes a really nice flower, as you can see. Last year there was a really beautiful purple pheno, and I'm thinking this one may finish up with a nice purple color. We'll see. But we've got these 2 different ones. There was about 3 or 4 different phenos last year. You can see that one's got a little chunkier flower. This one not so much, but they're going to be finished in the next couple of weeks. Those legal licensed hemp strains are bred to finish a little earlier, especially these ones from Oregon where they get quite a bit more rain than us. So got pumpkins. This orange cosmos did really well this year. That's Mount St. Helena. Usually you can see the top of it, but it's being buried in some clouds. This is a Circle CBG by Witch's Brew. This should be a high CBG and high CBD flower. And that's finishing up pretty quickly as well. Yellow squash there, that's a hibiscus. This is a Ghost Train Haze by AC/DC. This is going to take a while to finish, but pretty excited about this one. I actually took some late clones yesterday to back everything up as we continue our pheno hunt, looking for unique cannabinoids and strains that make awesome hash and awesome flower, the things that we enjoy smoking and sharing with our friends and loved ones. This is a Circle CBG F2 seed that we made last year. The Circles is high CBG from Hoku Seed Company. Here we got rosemary. There is a catnip there, stinging nettles, Alecampagne. This is all tomatoes right there. Big, big, big beefy tomatoes. When I say beefy tomatoes, I mean like, like giant tomatoes. Let that one ripen up for a couple more days. Hollyhocks. And you can see this, like I said, this is a hugel bed. This is a hugel culture bed. That's a big, giant root of a piece of wood that's sticking out from when we built these beds. At some point I'll cut that out with the saw, but we, like I said, these beds were 6 feet deep and 6 feet wide, and they got stuffed with a bunch of wood, bunch of big logs, dead rotted wood, and then a bunch of horse manure on top, and goat manure from Tamara's animals that she had here. And that's your nitrogen layer, and then it got a bunch of old potting soil from her old beds. This is a strain called Jungle Junk. This is a Yerba Santa, grows wild here. It's a herb, it's good for digestion. Oh, saw somebody down there. Somebody's showing up. Join the party. Somebody's showing up late to work. There he is. That's our rainy boy. Important part of the team right here. Thinks he's one of the dogs. He's a little sweetie. We got him at the shelter. He had a bunch of respiratory issues, but he's super strong. He got bit by a rattlesnake this summer on his paw and toughed it out, and is on his eighth life now. Super tough little dude, so we love him. He's a big snuggler and a big mouser and a super sweet boy. The sweetest boy. And so he guards the garden. He's an important part of the operation. And he loves to cruise around while we're out here doing our work in the garden. There's some peppers down there. This is actually baby corn right here. Kind of cool. You can see the little ears. This is the jute trellis netting made by our friends Conscious Gardeners. They're out of Humboldt County. There's some OG growers from up there. And we love using this trellis netting People always say, oh, doesn't the stuff get stuck to the buds? But it doesn't. It's very easy to put on. I put all this on by myself just a couple days ago. It's very easy to harvest. The buds don't stick to the branches and get grabbed by it like the plastic trellis netting that's so frustrating. And you just throw it in your compost pile when you're done with it. And it's all going to break down, degrade. All kinds of goodies around here. This is the Sour Banana Mints by Dragonfly Earth Medicine. More big tomatoes. Got the zebra striped tomatoes right there. Really excited about those. I mean, these are some of the biggest tomatoes I've ever grown. Oh, somebody got into that one, but yeah, these are giant. Pumpkins. This is a strain called Magic Summer. Hazel. Got my homie cruising with me. Lots of herbs for tomorrow's different herbal remedies. Got some white sage. It's a beautiful orange zinnia right there. This guy being too cute. He really wants some attention. This is a plant called Chemtrails by our buddy Zeno Seed Company out of the Bay Area here. We grew this last year. Love this strain. Awesome hasher. It's got a ways to go, so it's not showing a ton of resin yet, but it will. We love this. We love this plant. So very excited about that. This is some more high CBD genetics here. Purple Cat by Ringo's Gift. Some of Tamara's creations. This little plant there is one of mine. That's a Lemonhead OG by Icy Lotus. This is a white CBG. By Circles. White CBG by Circles. A lot of mixed ratio cannabinoids. That's what we like. It's the Bicycle Day Kush. It's one of my crosses. Got another pheno of this with some darker purple buds on it. This one's got the beef on it. This is the Melon Verde. This is the fermented watermelon from Terp Wizard crossed with the Celestial Verde, another cross of mine. And this is the GMO Chili Z by HBK Genetics. One of our empty water bladders down there. We catch our water in these 50,000 gallon water bladders. We've got one there and another one up the hill above this garden. And if we don't manage our water correctly, they end up empty and you run out of water. So this year, despite it being a cool summer, one of our springs dried up. And I actually had to move the spring box to a new location, run about 700 feet of new water line, and get the garden back on track that way. And but yeah, garden dried out a little bit. Everything's back on track now. You can see all the plants are looking nice and dark green. We've got all the dead leaf cleaned out of them. I just got some of these little cages on a few of these smaller plants the other day. Let's walk down to the goddess garden now. This is our little party venue over here where we had the camp out. That's our stage. Some of the shade is still up, but that's kind of the main spot for the partying. That's our Fay garden, where we just went for a little walk. Over here, our little composting area built out of pallets. This is all of our fertilizers, our homemade liquid fertilizers. These are all veg barrels, which we're not feeding right now. We're done with veg. That one's pretty much empty. We'll fill these back up with some veg materials. Here's a flower one. We mark these with an F for flower. You can see there's apples and peaches. You can see all the seeds from the different things like zucchini and squash and pumpkins, things that are high in phosphorus. There's another flower one that we're feeding out of right now. You can see, oh yeah, this one had a lot more apples in it. So these are the things we feed during flowering: ripe fruits, ripe flowers. We'll throw ripe cannabis buds in there. When we're done making hash, we'll throw the used flour, the washed flour material in there. Here we've got some of the junk pole fence built out of the poles that we thin out of the forest here. You guys should Google junk pole fence or watch some videos on YouTube. Really simple fence to build out of some materials you'd just be thinning out of the forest. So here's our beautiful goddess garden. This is another hugel garden. These hugels are built at ground level, so they dry out even more so. But these plants withstood that dry spell really well. This is a strain of mine called Puppy Love. Got some beautiful color to it. Got some more of these that are farther along that are looking really purple. That's got a lot of purple genetics in it. It's got this lemon velvet. It's got this forbidden rosé. This giant plant, this is probably our tallest plant this year, is this Gelinade by Honey Banana by Cannabis Horticulture Association, CHA. Look at the stalk on that thing. It's a monster. We really try to clean out the insides of these to increase our airflow. Things, like I said, things get very hot here in Lake County, so they can get really buggy. Things were very buggy here early on. These plants were very thrippy, and you can see the thrip damage on the leaves, but these are thrip free. I gave them what I hope will be their last spraying a few days ago of this Jadam microbial pesticide we've been making this year, which I've been very impressed with. For years now, we've been making and using the Jadam herbal solution, and this microbial pesticide is even easier to make, and I was able to go 3 weeks between sprayings at one point this summer, and it was only after things dried out did we start having some bug issues, but those bugs are gone. These leaves and plants are really regenerating. You can see where there was some damage, but no new bugs. Buds are looking perfect. Resin is stacking up perfectly. And we are going to have some more hot temperatures in about a week. We're going to be back up into the mid-90s. But they're enjoying this cool weather now. It's a chance for these plants to kind of rest, gather their strength up, get ready for this last big push. As soon as it warms up in a couple days, I'm going to give them another big flower feeding. This is a strain called Strawberry Skrilla. Some really nice resin stacking up on that one. I'll be jar testing all of these to decide which are the hashers and which we'll be putting in the freezer. You can see these are the Jerusalem artichoke. It looks like a sunflower, but it's actually Jerusalem artichoke. And these are great plants. Those are one of the plants we were using as herbal solution, but now you can eat them. You can do lots of stuff. Build a little outdoor kitchen out here, so we can do more food processing out here in the kitchen, out here in the garden. There's an apple tree there, persimmon tree. Got a few persimmons on it. This is the John Sour from Higher Ground Canna right here. Got some comfrey, some yarrow. This is a mullein in its first year. In its second year, it'll make that big tall flower. Those are some big mulleins over there. That's what it'll do next year. There's a borage. There's an aloe on the corner. These are potatoes that we're growing here. Some mint on the corner. Lots of companion plants. This John Sour is going to need a ways to go, but this we're hoping will be a nice hasher. It's Chem by Sour D. Big old stalk on it. This one, very far along, much farther along, is the Tropolicious. It's another one by our buddy Russell at CHA, Cannabis Horticulture Association. The bugs liked this one, but this plant grew really thick, lots of leaf, and it was really sandwiched between these two plants, so it probably had the least airflow of any plant on the farm. And of course, the bugs went for this one the most. But I've also seen praying mantis hanging out on this plant the last few days, and a lot of ladybugs. So when you've got a garden with a healthy, balanced ecosystem, you're going to see all the bugs. And when there's bugs, when there's starting to be a little imbalance, that's when the predators show up to feed on them. Things like the ladybugs, the Asian lady beetle, and this is the Pancakes F2 selection by our friend Eric, HBK Genetics. Really love this one. Great hasher, great flower. Another apple tree over here. This is an almond tree. Everybody says, no, that's a peach, but almonds are a stone fruit also. You can actually eat these. But yeah, another apple tree. We just did a big apple harvest. Tomorrow's making apple cider vinegar. This is a lemon dog by Humboldt Greenery. Got some really nice resin stacking up on it. This thing's probably going to be our first harvest. Hoping that it's going to go in the freezer. Got a real big G-Mob by G-Nut from BioVortex. This thing got really big. It's a little hungry. This bed gets the most sun and exposure. It's southern exposure. It gets all this late afternoon sun. It's the only bed in this garden running east to west, and it really gets cooked. So when this garden dried out, these plants dried out the most. That lemon dog handled it the best, but these two plants not so well. This is the mean medicine. And I know both these plants are bred more in coastal conditions. That one, northern Humboldt, this one, Sonoma. So I don't know that they handled the high heat as well, or if that played into the factor of that. But real excited about this mean medicine. I'm going to keep walking through here. There's some lavender. See the yarrow. Some real big stinging nettle. We've got a lot of nettle in this garden. Comfrey. You can see some of the big stalks right here. That's that pancake stalk. That's that Tropolicious. Oh, I see some ants crawling up that thing. I'm going to have to keep my eye out for aphids. This plant still needs to be cleaned out more. I was waiting till I could come through and take clones of everything and back everything up. So as we find some keepers, we hopefully have some valuable clones. I just did the last of those cuttings yesterday, even though things are this far into flower. And now we'll do our final clean out. And this plant, this whole row needs the most work right now. You can see the nettles really moved into this bed. Rainy boy inspecting all my work, making sure I doing my walkthrough correctly. Scouting, looking for pests, looking for any damage that might have come from this tiny bit of rain that we got. This is the manatee, and this is kind of a cool spot because Tamara's never done a plant in this part of this hugel, and we weren't sure if it was going to get enough sun. It's up next to this persimmon tree here. See a lot of persimmons on it this year. And it actually worked out great because it's so hot and dry here in Lake County that a little bit of shade helps a lot. You can see the big plant next to it got a little more dried out and crispy and not as dark green as this one. So this manatee's a late finisher, but awesome, awesome hasher. Some of the best hash strain we grew last year came in around 5%. Really nice, uh, really nice rosin. So that's bred by our friend Alex, Lake Washington Seed Company. It's a cross of strawberry split by Zazul. All right, let's see where Rainy Boy leads us next. Where are we going, Rainy Boy? All right, looks like I'm going to lead him. This is a plant from Dragonfly Earth Medicine. This is the, oh yeah, Grappaya daiquiri. Couldn't remember the name for a second there, but yeah, this one is a monster. Grappaya daiquiri, probably pushing 12 feet, almost as tall as the peach tree there. Really excited for that one. Hope to have some really fruity terps in there. Hope to find some nice hashers in there. From here, you can really see the size of that Gelinade by Honey Banana. That thing is ridiculous. That thing, the hugel sits probably 2 feet up in the air, but that thing's got to be pushing 15 feet tall. Really excited for that one. Not excited to be on top of a ladder harvesting that one. Okay, here's a really cool plant. This was a late plug. Never did a plant in this bed because it's two peach trees right here. We always get really yummy peaches off of this. This plant was a late plug. It was this tiny little plant, root bound in this pot. I thought, oh, it's not going to even get very big. No big deal. It's a Panama Red by Mozar, the red Mozar by our friend Eric, HBK Genetics. Um, but you can see it hasn't even begun to flower yet. Here we are, second week of September. And look at that cool guy hanging out in there. It hasn't even begun to flower at all. So we can finish out late season plants here in Lake County. We've had stuff finished close to Thanksgiving, close to end of November. But yeah, this thing just keeps vegging away. We kept joking, oh, it's going to be bigger than the peach trees. But now it is pretty much officially bigger than the peach trees and continues to stretch. So we're really excited about this. We've tried to do a little bit of landrace heavy stuff the last couple of years because we can. We can do later flowering varieties here because it's so hot and dry late. We grew this My Love Has Wings, this Chinese landrace a couple of years ago that finished near Thanksgiving, and it was awesome flower, very racy, up high, very unique stuff. So one thing we like to do is leave a lot of water out around our garden. It brings in a lot of birds, brings in a lot of snakes, helps deal with a lot of our pests. And that can be as easy as just stacking a few of those clone trays that don't have holes in them and putting them underneath a couple of your drip emitters. This whole garden's on drip, half-inch inline emitter tubing. It's a nice, easy, low pressure system. Can all be put together with these twist lock fittings. You don't even need much hose clamps to put the system together because it's all low pressure. There's a filter over there in the corner of the garden, and then it runs off of this timer that controls 4 valves. It's all very low tech, very, very low tech. Um, this is a strain of mine called Lemon Alchemy. This is another spot we weren't sure we were going to do a plant just because it gets shaded out by this elderberry. Sandwiched between these two elderberry bushes. You can see there's still some elderberries on this bush. Tamara uses this in a lot of her herbal remedies. There's a raspberry back here. Getting some raspberries. And that's the olive tree on the back there. And this plant really stretched out to get out of the shade of that, but came out pretty nice. The Lemon Alchemy. Lemon Head OG by 24K by Lemon Velvet. Another awesome hasher, super fermented rotten lemon. I love it. I love that terp. It's the Sour Golden Eagle. Another one of my genetics. This is probably the biggest plant on the farm this year. Just a monster. Giant stalk. Really excited about this one. Yeah, beautiful resin. Already starting. This one's got a ways to go. Datura. Right there. No, flower's not open, but it usually is. There's that backside of that red Mozar. Still just vegging away. This is the Royal Banquet, another one of my strains. This is the Royal Uprise by Breathwinter. Love this one. Real nice hasher. Beautiful resin. And some serious vigor. Stalks as big as your cat. See more water back there for the animals. But yeah, you can see that's a beast of a plant. Pushing about 12 feet. This is the Critical Durban, a high THC V by Hoku Seed Company. Interested to be trying out this unique cannabinoid. Making really nice resins, smelling really tasty. Stacking up really nice. Got a giant stalk on it. This is the back side of that Grapaya daiquiri from Dragonfly Earth Medicine, our friends Kelly and Josh. Shout out Josh. I know he had a birthday yesterday. Lots of nettle. These are the goji berries. Lots of goji berries. This bush cranks. This bush pumps and produces a lot of goji berries. It's the back side of that manatee plant. We've got 2 fig trees here that produce really well. Tamara just did a really big harvest off of the fig trees. Whoa. Missed that one. So good, they're just exploding. And then this is a smaller golden fig. It's actually really, really tasty. So that's about it, y'all. That's the Goddess Garden and the Fae Garden. Our personal use. Hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. It's been really nice to get a little break from the heat. We are ready for whatever rain might be coming our way. Our trellis is up. And we are greeting the fall with open arms. So thank you for joining me. Much love, everybody.